Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart. For it's hard, you will find, to be narrow of mind if you're young at heart.
And welcome back to this weekend's edition of the program. Uncle Frank there, crooning in the background. And, of course, that is now has turned into our standard open for our segments with our good friend, Carmela Gear, the director of Newport's Edward King Senior Center. Carm, how are you?
Feeling a little gray, my friend, hoping that this will cheer us up a little bit.
I know, huh?
Absolutely. It's been kind of a yucky week, and hopefully by the time this airs, the sun will be shining, and folks will be looking forward to what the groundhog tells us will be a shortened winter.
Let's hope so.
From his mouth to God's ears, absolutely.
Well, this actually is airing on the day of the big game.
Dun, dun, dun.
Carolina Panthers, Denver Broncos, who do you like?
Well, it kind of really doesn't matter to me. The Patriots aren't playing, so...
Oh, well, I'll go with the Carolina Blue.
All right, then I'll go with Denver, and let's see what happens.
It's a lot like the Middletown Blue, so...
Almost.
I'm kind of leaning toward that. Well, listen, before we'll get to your update on things happening at the Edward King House, this past Wednesday, I received an email blast from you folks alerting myself and whoever else got it to what's this, some sort of another scam going around?
Yeah, this time not the IRS but the Social Security Administration, and these particular scams are very frustrating on the part of folks who serve the older adult and elder community. What you might see on the subject line, saying that it's coming from the Social Security Administration, on the subject line it'll say "Get Protected." So it all looks like it's on the up and up. And when you open it up, it tells you that the Social Security Administration is offering all kinds of new programs to help you protect your identity and protecting your Social Security benefits and so on and so forth. Well, the truth of the matter is this particular email is a scam. It's called a phishing scam. So if you go and click on any of the links that are given to you on that email, they become a part of your world, and they shouldn't be a part of your world. They're trying to get to your information. And I think one of the best lessons we can teach about this particular scam, and any other one for this matter, and it was something I learned just about a year ago. If you take your mouse, whenever you get an email, any email at all, and if you take your mouse and hover over the person who is sending it to you on the to line,
the sender's name,
it will show you what the email address is that it's coming from.
Really?
Yep. So if it says Social Security Administration and it doesn't have a .gov at the end of it,
yep, it's
not from them. Quite often you'll see that it'll say .co.au, it's coming from Australia, or .co.uk, it's coming from Britain, that sort of thing. So it's a really neat trick to take your mouse and just hover over the to line, who it's coming from, to see what the actual email address is. From where it's coming.
That's it. I never knew that.
Absolutely. And when long ago and far away, when my personal email got hacked, the folks that were getting these horrible emails telling them I'd gotten beaten up in some hotel in Britain and I needed $4,000 to get out of the country and get home.
Exactly. I've gotten several of those.
Yeah, I got that. Yep. If you hovered over the email address of who it came from, it said it was from me. It had my name on it, but when you hovered over it, it wasn't my email address. So it's a really good way to see whether or not you should be opening it. Now, the funny thing about this story, with this particular email that we sent out, the blast that we sent out, I got a call from one of our instructors I included everybody on this blast. Everyone needed to see it. And she called me and she said, "Carm, do you have an email address? theedwardkinghouse@gmail.com. And indeed, we do. We don't use it for regular business. We use it for our email blast program. And that's what she did. She hovered over where it was the email was coming from, and it said the Edward King House at Gmail. And she called me to make sure that it was coming from me. She was afraid to open it because she was afraid she was, going to be either scammed or get a virus or whatever the case might be. She did the right thing.
Wow, that is a neat trick that I was not aware of.
Hover over it. Absolutely.
And another thing, too, and this is something I never quite got, but like I have a Yahoo email address, and I have what's called a spam folder that a lot of stuff gets sent to.
That's right.
I never open anything in the spam file at all. I don't even know.
Don't open it. Right.
I don't even know why it goes there or whether there's some sort of filtration system.
It is. That's exactly what it is. It's a filtration system. So sadly, sometimes these email blasts, because they're going out to hundreds and hundreds, sometimes thousands of people.
Yeah.
Depending on how strong of a filtration system you have on your email, many of these will end up in your spam folder, even though they are safe and it was intended to get to you. So sadly, that's the unintended casualty to the entire process.
Because generally, as soon as I get stuff in my spam folder, I immediately click on empty.
Yeah, and delete it all.
Yep, and even the spam stuff, when you get rid of it, it doesn't go into your trash file. It just goes.
It just goes, absolutely, which is what it's supposed to do.
Right.
But if you ever get an email that's like the one that I just spoke of that came from my personal account, that I had been in London and I had gotten mugged in an alley and, so on and so forth. We had folks who were responding to that email, "Carm, are you okay?"
Yep.
Well, I never got it because it wasn't coming back to me.
Exactly.
Pick up the phone. Sometimes you can't do it digitally. If you're worried about me, pick up the phone, call me and let me know that you got this email, which is what happened. My mother-in-law called me, wanted to know where I was, what was going on, is everything okay? And, meanwhile, I live across the street from my mother-in-law. So, I wasn't going anywhere, and I've never been to London. And so that's how I knew that my email account had been compromised, because someone picked up the phone and called me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Kind of a scary thing, but happens more often than we care to realize, I think, when all is said and done. So,
well, since that's, still relatively new news, I just wanted to kick off the program with that.
Absolutely.
All right. Fill us in. Load us up there, kiddo.
Oh, mercy. Well, this has been the weirdest winter that I can remember. We've got daffodils trying to bloom. This is nutty.
I know. Huh?
What's happening out there. But with that, we did some dialing back a little on some of our programming for the winter months, thinking that we'd have to cancel more than we'd be able to be up and running. But knock on wood, we've been able to keep all of our programs up and running without a cancellation. I'm probably jinxing myself right now, but that's okay. Our Circle of Scholars programming is up and running and incredibly successful. Some of our programs have filled up and are no longer available, but others are still have a few seats available. So go on over to our website at www.edwardkinghouse.org and take a look at some of the wonderful offerings we have for the Circle of Scholars.
Yeah, the last time you were here, or maybe the time before, you detailed some of those, and I highly recommend, if you're not familiar with some of the Circle of Scholars offerings, there's some just absolutely fascinating stuff, so check it out.
We even have a few that I can't announce just yet. We'll be announcing them next month, but we've got a few off-catalog offerings for the Circle of Scholars, which will be coming up this spring, that just happened to come along after the catalog was already printed, so we're getting excited about those, but I'll tell you more about that next month.
Okie dokie.
Let's see, our winter session 1 is going to be coming to a close in a couple of weeks, and we'll be beginning winter session 2 for our Edward King House offerings. It's our yoga classes. We have a new pain management guided meditation program, a straight guided meditation program, therapeutic yoga, our standard Tai Chi with Jessie Harding, our chair yoga program, which just keeps growing by leaps and bounds with Lynn Glickman, who we've had on the show before. So that'll be starting come the first week of March. So those registration forms will be coming out soon. And I know that a number of our snowbirds will be starting to come back in the month of March. So it'll be a great opportunity for them to sign up and stay active, stay healthy, and stay active. Most absolutely. But while we are still in the winter months, we do want to remind everyone that just because it feels like it's springtime outside doesn't mean that it is springtime outside. So it's really important to make sure that your home is safe and free from any trip and fall type scenarios, that you are well dressed when going outside, and that you're wearing proper shoes to ensure that you get from point A to point B safely. That really goes for just about anybody. It doesn't matter how old you are. But not letting gravity work against you is a really great idea.
And you know what's deceiving about this weather is, it's been upper 40s into the sometime mid 50s recently. And, you go out for a few minutes, you go, wow, this is, but what's still, it's a February 50.
Absolutely. And once that sun goes down, and it happens quick, it shifts very, very quickly.
And even when the sun's out, once you're out there for a while, you start to feel it a little bit.
You start to feel it, yeah. It's almost a misnomer out there that you get kind of complacent, and it feels so good, and it does feel so good for a little while. So we really strongly encourage everyone, even the kids out there, layer your clothing. Easy to take it off and then put it back on, than to be wearing the heavy duty sweater or sweatshirt or whatever the case might be, and not be able to adjust for your own body heat and your own safety. A little commercial here for our friends at the Division of Elderly Affairs. We have a fantastic program that we partner with there called the Senior Companion Program. We are in desperate need of senior volunteers for this particular program. Senior Companion offers senior volunteers to help other seniors, especially seniors who are isolated and live alone and are looking for a little bit of company, or someone to give them a ride to the senior center, or to take them to the grocery store, come and have tea with, that kind of thing. It sounds like it's a kind of a frou-frou or fluffy type of a program, but it can be a really important lifeline for isolated seniors who are living alone in our community. So we are in desperate need of seniors who do have the ability to drive and do have transportation so that they can get from home to their senior companion. There is a stipend that's connected to this program, so although you are a volunteer, there is a stipend that's made available to the folks who volunteer to help cover for gas and their time and energy. But if anyone is interested in volunteering for the Senior Companion Program, please give us a call at the center, 846-7426, and we'd be happy to connect you with Jenny Martinez at the Division of Elderly Affairs.
And it's just, we've said it so many times, not just with you, Carm, but prior to your arrival over the years, talking about seniors and senior centers. Take everything, all the great programs and stuff that you offer, put them all to the side for one split second, and get a senior who may be in that isolation type of a situation out and socializing with other folks. And it is just maybe numero uno as far as, from a health perspective.
Yeah. That's absolutely true. It's funny you should bring that up. So, with regards to the mission of not only the King House, but any senior center anywhere in the United States, our goal is to combat that isolationism. When an individual is isolated, really regardless of age, but more so when you're an older adult, that isolation and that loneliness affects your mental health, your physical health, and really affects your entire world when all is said and done. Your lifespan shortens when you become isolated. We were just having a little discussion out in the lobby a little while ago of the difference between the individual who is homebound, not because they have to be, but because they choose to be, and the person who's still connected to their community. I'd lay down my life that the person who's still connected into their community is going to live longer than the person who is not, because the statistics prove it when all is said and done. So, it's although we give the impression that we're a club-like atmosphere, because we want it to be enjoyable and we want it to be fun, we're also a lifeline. We're the place where you can get the answers to your questions, companionship, nutrition, health and wellness, and and what better place than that beautiful mansion on King Street to enjoy the company of others and feel like you belong to the world. Absolutely.
Yeah, go upstairs, shoot some pool.
Yeah, let me tell you something about those pool players. So our numbers of folks that, especially the boys who come in to play pool, are growing. And I had a meeting in my office the other day, and you could hear the yelping coming from the billiard room. And the individual that I was meeting with turned to me and said, I'm sorry, Carm, but is there some corporal punishment going on somewhere in the building? I said, no, that's just the billiard room. They're having a great time up there.
Yeah.
But indeed, the numbers of folks who have come to participate in the program have been growing exponentially. We had a lovely woman who was coming down the walk yesterday as I was leaving to go to a meeting, and I asked her if I could help her, and she said, I think it's time for me to become a member. I said, I believe you're right. And into the building we went and took care of her membership. And she's going to be joining us for lunch today, in fact. So that might be a really great opportunity to segue into our fantastic lunch program. And when I met with you last month, Art, you were telling me about the website and the fact that the updated lunch menu was not up. You were quite right. I had to fix that.
I noticed.
Yep, yeah. And so it's up, and the fantastic thing about our lunch program is that it's grown. So we're now averaging anywhere from 20 to 24 folks now on a regular basis joining us for lunch. Makes for a very active and loud and fun dining hall, especially now with the presidential election that really is so many months away, but you would think we were in the throes of it right now. Lots of great conversation going on there, and really you can't get a better lunch anywhere than you can at your senior center.
For $3 if you're 60 and older.
From soup to dessert.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A really great hot meal. So, take a look at that menu. Give us a call. We'd be happy to tell you what's being offered on any given day. The only thing that we do ask, however, is that you make your reservation 24 hours in advance by noon, because we do not cook on site. The meal is catered in. We want to make sure we have enough food to go around.
Yep.
Absolutely. So, while we're on the subject of food and health and wellness and all that wonderful stuff, the Department of Health is partnered with the Edward King House, and we're going to be providing a diabetes prevention program beginning February 17th. This is an intensive prevention program that will span every Wednesday morning from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. From February 17th until July 20th. The intent of the program is to change lifestyles to incorporate a much healthier way of being, healthier foods, movement, the warning signs of diabetes, the numbers of folks that are suffering from or being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes is literally exploding to the point where health officials are having a hard time keeping up with it. So the intent of the prevention program is to keep you out of the doctor's office for that particular reason. So we're looking for folks who are over the age of 18. You don't necessarily have to be a senior, but anyone over the age of 18 that may have a history of diabetes, might be overweight. If you are a senior and you're overweight, you automatically qualify for this. And the blessing to this program is it's absolutely free and being offered by the Department of Health. So give us a call, but if you would definitively like to join up for this program, we ask you to call Allison at area code 401-222-3329, and she'll sign you up directly for the program itself. And the spots are beginning to fill up, so we encourage you to give her a call sooner than later. Again, her name is Allison, and the number is 401-222-3329. Really important programming. So we're looking forward to that. With regards to our emotional health, the URI Pharmacy Series will be coming back this month, February 18th at 1 o'clock p.m. with a program on depression, or the blues, as we tend to call them. We had one on memory last month that was very, very well attended, and we're looking forward to this one being well attended as well. This particular program is intended to give you information on depression if you think you're suffering from it, or if a loved one is suffering from it. So please come join us February 18th at 1 p.m. What else, my friend? Oh, we're going to New York City on Labor Day weekend.
Again?
Yes. It turns out that this, by popular demand, our folks are eager to go back to New York. This time around, the 9/11 Museum is open. It was still under construction the last time we went, so we're going again this time around. So we will be going to the 9/11 Memorial and to the museum. We'll be seeing some of the other beloved sites around New York City, and the great thing about going the weekend of Labor Day weekend is that the city dwellers escape the city that weekend. So we find that the city is all ours. And if you'd like to go see a show, there's free time on the Sunday afternoon of the trip that you can book tickets for whatever show you'd like to go to. Just make sure you make it back to the bus on time. So give us a call if you're interested in taking a very comfortable coach bus to the city for a 3-day excursion. Very excited about that.
And like I said, even we New England sports fans have to admit we're not fond of the Yankees or the Jets.
But we love the Big Apple.
But we love the Apple.
Absolutely, we do.
And it's actually, you hear a lot of New York people love Boston, too. So
you got it. Absolutely.
It's a mutual thing.
And we're so lucky to live where we do, where we have the blessing of Newport, New York, and Boston.
Oh, absolutely.
Really at our fingertips.
Yep.
Next Friday, we're hosting another pasta supper. Got to get that famous sauce out there at the King House. But because, I didn't realize that I had scheduled this particular pasta supper to celebrate Valentine's Day, it's a Friday in Lent. So we'll not only be offering our regular meat sauce, but we'll also be offering a clam sauce this time around for those folks who are abstaining from eating meat on the Friday of Lent.
Nice.
$10 per person. Please make your reservation. You can pay at the door, but make your reservation so I know how much food to have available.
What's the date
for
on that?
Evening, Friday, February 12th, 6 o'clock at the Edward King House. Come join us. It's always a whole lot of fun.
Yeah,
and we look forward to some wonderful musical entertainment for that evening as well. Let's see. The Visiting Nurse Service is going to be joining us not just once a month, but 2 times a month now, the 2nd and 4th Monday of every month from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Come get your blood pressure taken for free. And our favorite nurse, Kathy DeSantis, will be joining us 2 Mondays out of the month to answer your health questions and get you connected to the appropriate resources to get you what you need with regards to your physical health. And last but not least, my friend, it's tax time.
Oh, God, I thought we were going to get over this.
It just is what it is. Those 2 things that are inevitable. Taxes is one of them.
It's a great service.
It's a fantastic service. Our friends Bob Lobecker and Bob Leary and his team from AARP are coming to provide volunteer tax services every Monday morning from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. in our lovely parlor. Come with all of your documentation. There is no appointment necessary. Walk-ins are completely necessary. They've got a great system to get it done as quickly and efficiently as possible. So come see us every Monday from now until tax day.
Okay. And it is a great service, and they do a fabulous job.
They really do.
I can attest to that personally. They really do a terrific job there.
And great souls, great people to get to know. Absolutely.
And I'll tell you what, God bless them, because I could never volunteer to do that. It's
bad enough when we got to do our own. These poor souls are happy to help you to do yours as well.
Oh, I sit there in amazement going, boy, I tell you, talk about it. Yeah. All right, well, listen, Carp, we're just about out of time for this time around. But we'll actually have you back later in this month.
That's right.
We'll have you back around the program on the 28th, and we'll let you have both segments and fire away, hopefully with a guest.
We will have a guest. Jerry LePage from Elder Services at Child and Family Services will be joining us to talk about what his program has to offer.
All right. We'll talk to you then.
Sounds great. Thank you, Art.